Declan was very sick and they didn't know what the outcome would be. There were many times in his early days, especially when he was still in the NICU, that we didn't know if Declan was going to survive or not. There were a lot of doctors who, we were surrounded by a lot of doctors who were Christians, who were strong Christian people, but they were also very realistic with us. They didn't think that the outcome for Declan was going to be very good. But one of our doctors especially always said, but miracles happen every day. And they do, and they did. Lots and lots of miracles over and over again in Declan's life.
I was on a ventilator too.
I know.
Oscillating ventilator for, it says 88 days.
Yeah, for a long time. He was on some sort of mechanical ventilation for almost the first 2 years of his life. So just the fact that he can walk around and breathe on his own and is just amazing. Sometimes we'll sing songs in the sanctuary about, it's some sort of breath, in there. And those songs get me every time because I'm like, every breath is a miracle. And many of those days where it was touch and go, and there were times when people from St. Mark's came to the hospital. They brought the church there, and there were many times when we would just have church up there in the NICU and pray over him, and we anointed him, and lots of things. I think St. Mark's is kind of unique in how it welcomes people who have different abilities. We've been fortunate to be here the whole time that Declan has been around, but there are other friends who struggle at their churches, trying to find a place that they fit, or if they have a bunch of equipment, or things like that. And that was never an issue here. The first time he came to church, he had all of his equipment, and he was still on oxygen and all that kind of stuff. And so he had all this equipment that came with him, and but we came to church, and he was dedicated here at church. Yeah, it's just been a steady, consistent part of his life from the very, very beginning. It's been that stability, that community that surrounds you when you need it, and good times and bad times and everything in between.
He used to be a part of Kings and Queens, and that for those of you that don't know Kings and Queens, it is a big deal, and we're glad that we were a part of that for a few years.
And I think of CDO. He went to CDO here, and that was a big thing for him and for me. When you have a child that has a lot of medical complexities, it's hard to let them do things on their own. And so CDO was kind of the first of that, of leaving him here and me leaving, and knowing that he would be good. Yes.
One time I was off to go skating.
Mm-hmm.
Skating rink.
You went skating with CDO, yeah.
So, Declan, what's your favorite part of St. Mark's?
Sunday school.
You like Sunday school? Good. What do you like about Sunday school?
The games that they play in there.
Excellent. Have you learned anything in Sunday school?
Hope.
Hope.
You learned about hope?
Good.
It's a good one.
Do you guys read the Bible in there?
Yeah.
Because you went to Bible boot camp, right?
Yep.
How many times?
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
I bet.
Are you going to go again?
Yeah, next year.
That would be this year, but yeah.
It's one of his favorite things.
And Mom, I went to Cane's last time.
Yeah.
Cane's for lunch.
Always talking about the food at Bible Boot Camp.
I always go out to lunch there every time because they had to feed me. So
They had
Yeah.
to feed you.
That's right. So Declan, what do you think of St. Mark's?
awesome.
It's a good answer.